if it isn't Philo Vance.
I beg your pardon? Who said that?
I haven't seen you since you solved the Kennel murder case. How are you?
Well, for the love of... Nick Charles, what are you doing up there? Impersonating a book cover? Shh. I'm working on a case. Don't tell me you've gone back to detective work. I thought you had turned respectable. Didn't you get married? Oh, didn't I? Vance, I married a girl in a million. I heard it was a girl with a million. Well, same thing. I've become a California gentleman. I never heard of such a thing. What are you doing here in New York? Well, it seems that Clark Gable is making some personal appearances here, which interests my wife. And there's a very good bar at the Ritz, which is all right with me. So we popped into town to play. But would you believe it? Before you could say Metro Golden Mare, I stepped right into the middle of a baffling murder mystery, and they put me to work. Well, you poor fellow, you have my deepest sympathy. I can use it. Believe me, Vance, this case is a toughie. It all revolves about a tall, thin man. I was standing at the bar of the Ritz one day, reaching for an olive, when a very pretty girl suddenly popped up in front of me and said,
Hello there.
Hello. Another glass. How are you?
You know, we do know each other.
Certainly, we've known each other for years.
Aren't you Nick Charles?
Huh?
You don't remember me? I'm Dorothy Wynant.
How is your father?
Oh, that's what I came to ask you. He's disappeared. Chris, what are you going to do?
That's what I said I'd do.
Chris, you wouldn't do that.
Nicky, automatically...
Nicky, put Asta in here with me tonight.
Oh, yeah?
That knife's missing. I'll look for it in your back.
It's about Julia Wolfe.
Did you kill her?
Gilbert.
Well, why not? You had a perfectly good motive.
How'd you like to have a couple of little murderers for your children?
And maybe I haven't been on a merry-go-round since that day. Are you, anywhere near a solution? Between you and me, I think so. I got all the suspects together at a dinner party. And then I pulled a fast one. I told them, and the murderer is right here in this room tonight. He's sitting here at this table. Are you sure that the murderer is one of that group? Not absolutely. But I know where to find out. Where? Right in there. Now, you watch me. I'm going to dissolve slowly into this book. If you'll stand by, I'll give you the answer.
Left for a man after living in a place like this for 3 days, I don't know.
Darling, you don't need mystery. You got something much better, something more alluring.
What?
Me.
You. Well, you see, it's New Year's Eve, Aunt Catherine.
The old battle axe?
Shut up. Excuse me, Aunt Catherine. I was talking to the dog. This is Aunt Hattie.
How are you?
Don't mumble, young man. Don't mumble.
How are you?
She's deaf.
You're telling me.
You got a gun?
No,
What'd you do with it?
I never had one.
Miss Burns has a brother who has a gun.
If that little rat tries to hang anything on me, I'll...
You leave my brother out of this.
Take it easy, take it easy. That's what they want. They want to get you at each other's throats. Just answer what you wanna and don't let them get you.
I can't stand that shyster.
I was beginning to suspect that. You made any New Year's resolutions?
Not yet. Any complaints or suggestions?
Few. You don't scold, you don't nag, and you look far too pretty in the mornings.
All right, I'll remember. Must scold, must nag, mustn't be too pretty in the mornings.
Mommy, this is Creep's binder. Remember?
Creeps, yeah, Creeps, you remember? Nick sent me up the river.
Oh, well, it's nice you don't feel bad about it.
Well, why should I? Gee, it took a genius to outsmart me.
You want to touch me?
I got rid of all those reporters.
What'd you tell them?
Told them we were out of scotch.
What a gruesome thought.
Where is he? What happened, Nick?
What do you want blasted?
Man's just been killed. I think you boys better get out of here before the police arrive.
Grab your kids!
Holy screw! More!
What happened?
If there were any reasonable chance for me to help you, it'd be different. But during this quiet little weekend in the country, my family's been threatened. I've had a knife thrown at me, I've been shot at, and I've been suspected of murder. From now on, this is your case. You handle it. I'm going back to New York and forget it. Come on, Mom.
Had your dinner yet? Come on, Nick, join us.
Oh, yeah, Nick. Well, if it ain't Nick Charles and the little woman. Nicky, pal, how's things?
I hope you get out of it all right.
Thanks, lady. Good night.
wait till I tell the family I met Nick Charles and Mrs. Charles. This is Mrs. Charles, isn't it?
That's the way we check in at motels.
No one will get a word out of me, Nick. It's okay, honey.
Okay, let's go.
Mama goes home.
Oh, Nicky, you know you click better when I'm around.
Not in a men's shower. I tell you what. You go home, cold cream that lovely face, slip into an exciting negligee,
Yes?
and I'll see you at breakfast. Stick 'em up or I'll blow you in two.
Oh, don't shoot, Nicky, it's me!
One thing about a murder case, if you just let people talk long enough, sooner or later, somebody spills the beans. Well, somebody has.
Is it me?
Yeah, Nick, is it her?
Nick, who is it?
I didn't go near the track that day, and I can prove it.
And I haven't killed a jockey in weeks. Really.
That's about the nicest thing you've said to me since the time I got my head caught in that cuspidor at the Waldorf.
That wasn't the Waldorf. That was the Astor.
Asta?
Astor?
All animals must go in the baggage car.
Oh, that isn't an animal. That's my fur coat.
If it can wag its tail, it goes in the baggage car.
I wonder if I might come in for a minute. There's...
You leave me alone. I don't want to answer any questions. Now get out.
Oh, Nicky. Nicky, you're driving me crazy. This case is serious. And all you do is fuddle around and guzzle cider.
Now, Swiss prune juice. You have to have someone who could operate freely and without arousing suspicion. Someone who knew Peter Burton and could get him to do the work for you. When we find who that individual was...
Nick! Look out!
Rampage of respectability persists, we'll have to buy you a bulletproof girdle. You're magnificent. We just have to walk 10 minutes in various directions until we find the right institution. What, you've got the nose of a bloodhound.
Don't let him worry you. The rest of your face looks fine.
I wouldn't know anything about Hollis.
Your eyes are getting shiny, Miss Page.
And your mouth's getting big, Mr. Charles.
Where is he?
Why don't you ask me if I killed Tommy Drake?
You probably had good reason to.
How about a story, Dad?
Oh, no story for you tonight. You've got to get some sleep.
But your stories always put me to sleep.
I said I'd take that piece of...
Go it'll leave you that night, brother. Just one word from me and that dog of mine will tear you to pieces.
Well, buddy, I guess this is it.
Time for that little bombshell. Tell everyone how Tommy Drake was murdered. Tell them why Fran Page was murdered. Tell them about the someone who went to her apartment. That someone is here among us now.